Here's the thing. What if I told you that a single $500 decision made every single month could change the entire trajectory of your financial future? Imagine this. You put away $500 every month without fail, and over time, you've built a significant amount of wealth, much more than you ever expected. It's not a lottery win, it's not some risky investment, it's just consistent savings. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, right, Nick, it's just $500. How can that possibly make a difference? It seems too small, too insignificant to have any real impact on your future. I mean, who even has $500 to spare every month, right? You're thinking, that's not even my rent. But here's the thing. What if I told you that your attitude toward that $500 is exactly why you're stuck, struggling, and living paycheck to paycheck? Most people don't realize that small, consistent actions add up over time. They focus on the big numbers and ignore the little things, which is why they fail to get ahead. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money. Specifically, how people get it wrong when it comes to saving, investing, and growing wealth. We all know the basics: save more than you spend, invest wisely, etc. But somehow, most of us are still struggling. Have you ever wondered why that is? If you're someone who feels like you're always playing catch up with your finances, or that no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to get ahead, you're not alone. Millions of people feel the same way. The problem is, they don't realize the impact of something as simple as saving $500 every month. Now, let's break this down. If you save $500 a month and invest it in a low-risk fund with an average return of 7% annually, in just 10 years, you'll have over $85,000. Doesn't that sound incredible for just $500 a month? But wait, here's where it gets even better. If you keep this up for 30 years, your $500 monthly investment could grow to over $350,000. That's right, $500,000. And this is all from just saving $500 a month, month after month. And if you continue this for 40 years, well, now you're looking at over $700,000. And this doesn't require any crazy stock picks, risky ventures, or luck. It's just consistency over time using the $500 rule. So why does this work so well? It's because of the power of consistency. You might think $500 isn't enough, but when you make small, consistent contributions, your brain starts to adapt and you start seeing bigger changes in your financial situation. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. $500 a month? I don't even have that. And I get it. It seems like a lot. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be $500. You can start with less. $100, $200, or even $50. The key is to start small and be consistent. Now, you might be thinking, how am I supposed to find even $100, let alone $500 every month? And that's a fair question. Here's the thing. It doesn't need to be an impossible task. If you take a hard look at your spending habits, you'll find little areas where you can trim back. Take a look at your daily habits. Can you cut down on your coffee runs? Or perhaps you can cancel a subscription you're no longer using. These are small tweaks, but over time, they add up to big savings that can be directed into your investments. These small changes don't require you to sacrifice your lifestyle. They simply require you to be more intentional with your money. It's about redirecting those small amounts into something that will build wealth over time. Let's put this into perspective. If you cut down just $100 a month, you could have $1,200 at the end of the year. That's enough to start investing in something that can grow your wealth. And if you stick to it, that number keeps growing. Now, you might think $1,200 isn't enough to invest in the stock market or make big returns. But remember, small investments grow over time, and the earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Starting small with consistent investments means that even small amounts over time can add up to large returns. The key isn't the amount, it's the habit and the commitment to stay consistent. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect. It means being persistent.
You don't have to be perfect with your finances. You just need to stay on track, even when things get tough.
Now, you might think, but Nick, I don't have time to track my spending every month. Here's the thing. You don't need to track every penny. Just take a few minutes each week to review your spending and see where you can improve. Reviewing your spending is an investment in itself. It's about making small changes that add up to big rewards over time. Don't let the fear of perfection hold you back from starting. Let's break this down. If you start saving just $50 a month, over a year, that's $600. What could you do with that? You could start investing in small stocks, a high-yield savings account, or even an emergency fund. If you keep saving and investing consistently, that small $50 investment will grow exponentially over the next few years. That's how wealth is built, consistently, little by little, over time. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you think about how long it will take to build wealth. But remember, you don't have to get it all right away. Focus on the small wins and let the process work for you. Building wealth doesn't require you to take huge risks. It requires you to take small, consistent actions that add up over time. That's how the most successful investors build their portfolios. Let's talk about risk. You might think investing involves gambling or taking huge risks, but the reality is, if you stick to consistent low-risk investments like index funds, you're minimizing your risk while still growing your wealth. Remember, wealth doesn't grow from one lucky stock pick. It grows from your ability to stay consistent and make smart, steady choices over time. That's how you avoid big risks and still see big rewards. The key to investing is not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. The earlier you start, the more time your investments have to grow, and the less you have to worry about short-term market fluctuations. Here's what most people don't realize. The market will always have ups and downs, but by consistently investing, you smooth out those peaks and valleys. Over time, you'll come out ahead. Don't get caught up in the hype of quick gains. True wealth is built on smart, consistent choices, not on gambling your money on the next big thing. Keep your focus on the long game. The key to wealth isn't about having the most money in the shortest amount of time. It's about building habits that last for decades. Small, consistent actions over time lead to massive results. Start small and don't rush the process. Wealth building takes time, but the earlier you start, the better. The small sacrifices today will pay off big in the future. Small habits like saving $50 a month might not feel significant at first, but trust me, they add up. By the time you realize it, you've got a solid foundation to start investing. Building wealth isn't about making one big decision. It's about making dozens of small, smart decisions over and over again. Those decisions compound over time and lead to significant growth. The secret to building long-term wealth is the same as mastering any skill: practice, consistency, and patience. It takes time to build those habits, but once you do, they pay off. The earlier you start, the easier it becomes. By starting now, even with small amounts, you set yourself up for bigger gains down the line. It's about starting the habit, not waiting for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect time to start. The best time is right now. The longer you wait, the more potential growth you miss out on. Your financial future begins today. You don't have to do it all at once. Start small, stay consistent, and build your wealth over time. The key is to get started today, and the results will follow. Now, I get it. Saving money and building wealth might seem like a slow process, but think about it. Every time you make that $100 or $500 contribution, you're not just saving money, you're creating a habit. And habits are powerful because over time, they compound into something much bigger than you could have imagined. This isn't about the size of the deposit, it's about the consistency of the action. It's easy to get caught up in the desire for instant results, especially with all the flashy financial schemes out there that promise quick wealth. But here's the truth. Wealth building is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about taking small, consistent actions over time, knowing that each step is a piece of the puzzle. Sure, it may take longer, but those who stick with it year after year are the ones who end up financially secure. Let's break down the math. If you invest $100 each month into a diversified portfolio, and let's say you average a 7% return annually, after 10 years, you'll have around $16,000. But here's the kicker. If you keep going for 30 years, that $100 a month turns into more than $100,000. Imagine the power of doing this consistently, not just for 10 years, but for your entire life. Here's the kicker. That $100 a month isn't just about the money you save. It's about what it allows you to do. It's about building habits that make wealth building automatic. The more you automate your savings and investments, the less effort it requires from you. You start building wealth without even thinking about it. Automating your finances doesn't mean you have to be hands-off entirely. You still need to check in every now and then. But the beauty of automation is that it frees up your time and mental energy. You no longer have to think about saving or investing. It's already taken care of. One of the biggest barriers to financial success is the constant need to do it all yourself. But when you automate, you're removing that mental burden. You no longer have to manually track every penny because your system is already working for you. The beauty of automation is that it's scalable. Once you set up the initial systems, you can add more savings or investments over time without a second thought. You can increase your contributions gradually and let the system do the work. Consistency, even with small amounts, is the real secret to wealth. It's not about finding a big, one-time opportunity. It's about setting up systems that work for you over time. The more time you give your money to grow, the bigger the rewards later. Think of it like planting a tree. The seed you plant today may seem small, but with regular care and attention, it will grow into something much bigger. And once it's grown, it can provide you with the financial security you need. As you continue to make these small investments, you'll notice something incredible. Your money will start to grow, and it will feel effortless. You won't have to work as hard for it anymore. Instead, it will work for you. Now, you might be thinking, but I have bills to pay, debts to deal with, and living expenses to manage. How can I possibly think about saving and investing? The truth is, it's about balancing your priorities and making small sacrifices. It doesn't matter how much you make, it matters how much you keep. By cutting down on unnecessary expenses and saving just a little bit each month, you're freeing up money that can be invested for your future. Remember, building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about staying in the game even when things get tough. The more consistent you are with saving and investing, the sooner you'll reach your goals. Building wealth isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about making progress every day. As long as you stay consistent and keep learning, you'll get closer to your financial goals. At the end of the day, it's all about balance. It's not just about saving every dollar, but about understanding the value of your money. You need to find a healthy balance between saving, spending, and investing so that you can live today while planning for tomorrow. Building wealth is about being proactive, not reactive. By automating your savings and investments, you're taking charge of your financial future without needing to think about it every day. It's like setting a cruise control on your financial journey. One of the best things about automated savings is that it removes emotion from the equation. You don't have to worry about making decisions when you're feeling impulsive or uncertain. Your savings grow automatically, regardless of how you're feeling that day. The power of automatic saving isn't just in the money that adds up. It's in the freedom it gives you. You're not constantly thinking about your finances, which allows you to focus on other things in life, things that matter to you. Start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. The best time to start building wealth is right now, with whatever you have. The longer you wait, the more you're missing out on the power of compound growth. Now that you've seen how small changes can start building your wealth, it's time to take action. Like I said, starting today can bring you closer to achieving those bigger financial goals. So don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want more videos on financial success, make sure to subscribe to the channel.